Welcome to our Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive digital phenomenon. You've probably scrolled past it, laughed at it, and let's be honest, had it stuck in your head for days. So we're going to put this viral 60-second formula under the microscope and see exactly how creators are engineering virality entirely from scratch.
Let's dive right into the ultimate modern internet question. Have you ever just stopped and wondered how a mere 5 seconds of sound, so incredibly short you could literally miss it if you blink, manages to capture the collective attention of the entire globe? How does something so tiny punch so far above its weight class?
We're talking about hundreds of millions of views here. Let that sink in for a second. Hundreds of millions of views generated from simple, stylized farm animals doing completely unexpected things. That is not just some passing trend, right? That is a massive cultural footprint, and it is definitely not happening by accident. It's the direct result of pairing a very specific audio cue with highly engaging AI-generated imagery. To figure out how this masterclass in attention-grabbing actually works, we'll quickly break it down into 5 parts. The viral animal phenomenon, decoding the golden formula, the psychology of rhythmic audio, the AI visual hook, and finally, your algorithm blueprint. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The viral animal phenomenon, the absurdity of 5 seconds. Check out this exact 60-second roadmap. Notice how incredibly tight this timeline is. The creator literally has 0 seconds to waste. The first 5 seconds are purely dedicated to hooking you. Then the body, running from 5 to 35 seconds, delivers the core visual montage. The climax breaks down the punchline from 35 to 50 seconds, and finally, a super swift 10-second outro seals the deal. It is just a perfectly engineered minute of content.
Right off the bat, the hook uses a classic pattern interrupt by contrasting this surprisingly short, simple 5-second clip of farm animals with insane global reach. It instantly sets up a mystery. We naturally want to know, wait, how can something as basic as farm animals get this kind of disproportionate success? It sets up this great curiosity gap that we are obligated to solve.
All right, Section 2. Decoding the golden formula, triggering the algorithm.
Because look, this kind of success, it's really not just luck. It's pure science. It's a golden formula engineered entirely to capture algorithmic favor. And the word deliberate is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Creators aren't just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. They're crafting a very precise cocktail. They know the YouTube algorithm is basically a machine hunting for specific user behaviors, and this formula is built from the ground up to trigger exactly those behaviors.
See, the algorithm absolutely loves these 3 specific ingredients, which work together to keep you hooked. First, rhythmic repeating audio loops. They create this almost hypnotic effect that encourages viewers to watch the short multiple times without even realizing the loop restarted. Second, remixed animal sounds, which give you a mix of familiarity and novelty. And third, totally lighthearted content. It makes the viewer feel good, which naturally boosts watch time and shareability. This trio is literally the ultimate algorithmic bait. Moving on to Section 3, Psychology of Rhythmic Audio. Why sounds trend? You really have to look past the cute exterior to understand the underlying structure here. It's so easy to just write these videos off as silly internet noise, but if you do that, you're missing the entire architecture of virality. The cute factor is actually just a Trojan horse, you know? It gets you to lower your defenses so the real psychological hook can take hold.
Here is the absolute crucial difference, the calculated shift from a random animal noise to an intentionally remixed repeating audio loop. Like, if you just record a cow mooing or a pig oinking, you've got a cute sound. But when you isolate that sound, pitch correct it, layer a heavy beat under it, and loop it seamlessly, you transition from random noise into viral audio. You are tapping directly into the human brain's natural desire for pattern recognition. We are biologically wired to pay attention to rhythm.
Which brings us to Section 4, the AI visual hook, locking in attention.
When you combine that audio with visuals, you must lock in the viewer's attention within the very first 3 seconds. Think about how incredibly fast you swipe on your phone. 3 seconds is an eternity in the digital space, but it's literally all the time you get to convince someone not to scroll past. The audio creates the vibe for sure, but the visual has to immediately validate your decision to stop and watch.
And the visual storytelling here is completely surreal. Creators are utilizing AI to generate hyper-fast montages and hilarious transitions. This is where the trend truly elevates itself. By using artificial intelligence, you can generate entirely impossible scenarios, like a sheep DJing or a cow riding a skateboard at lightning speed. This surrealism shatters your expectations. Because the visuals are constantly changing and matching the precise beats of that rhythmic audio, your brain is just constantly stimulated. It makes it almost impossible to look away. It basically boils down to a highly efficient two-step dance. On one side, the audio setup, where the creator acts as a curator, identifying a rhythmic loop that already has momentum. On the other side, visual generation, where they act as a director, using AI prompts to create bizarre, hyper-engaging actions that marry perfectly to that sound. It is a crazy efficient workflow that requires minimal traditional production but yields maximum digital impact.
And finally, Section 5, your algorithm blueprint, churning out content effortlessly. So here are the exact steps to leverage these tools yourself. Step 1 is observation, really understanding the psychology of why a sound trend is working. Step 2 is application, leveraging those AI image and video generators to build your visuals. And Step 3 is execution, putting it all together to effortlessly churn out algorithm-friendly shorts.
The biggest takeaway here is that decoding this golden formula empowers absolutely anyone to recreate this digital success. By demystifying the process, the barrier to entry basically vanishes. You don't need a massive studio. You don't need a crazy budget for special effects. You just need an understanding of human psychology, an ear for a catchy loop, and access to a decent AI tool.
We've cracked the code on farm animals today, but the digital landscape is constantly shifting. The real lesson here is that virality is rarely an accident. It's architecture. And once you see the blueprints, you kind of never unsee them. So what trends should we break down next? And more importantly, are you ready to use trending audio to build your own viral AI video?